Welcome to the AOC coaching board here at the Coach Potito Sessions. In this episode, I'll be showing you a man-to-man play that I use to maximize my players being guarded by the opposing big men. This is play 5. If you're watching me for the first time, I'm Coach Putit, and in my 20 plus years of coaching basketball at every single level, my passion is to turn you into impactful coaches, parents, players, and even fans. So that in you and through you, everyone can experience the life-changing potential of the greatest game there is. And with the support of the world's best computer and gaming monitors, AOC, I will be able to show you the play itself and then be able to share with you the teaching points and the important details of the play. This is a new segment for the Coach Potito Sessions starting 2021. And I'd like to know what you want me to discuss in future AOC coaching board episodes. Put them in the comment section below and fire away. And also at the end of this episode, I'll share with you some amazing updates and exciting news. So stay tuned for that. And here is play 5. We'll start with your basic 5 out. One has the ball. Okay, and it doesn't really matter where 5 and 4 are, 2 and 3. The basic assumption is our 5 and 4 are our players who are being guarded by the opposing big men. That's the important assumption here. So we start with the wing entry. Wing entry to from 1 to 2 or 1 to 3, doesn't matter. Now what happens is the opposite wing, okay, will set a screen for the opposite 4 or 5, or we'll call them our bigs because they are being guarded by the opposing bigs anyway. So 4 uses the staggered screen or those 2 screens. So that's our first movement. 2 has the ball. 3 here, 1, our 4 here, our 5 here. Okay. Now, what happens is, get the ball here. 4 doesn't have to be exactly at the 3-point line. He can end up at the free throw, can end up somewhere between the free throw and 3-point line. Doesn't matter as long as he's open. Now, he gets the ball there. What we'll do next is the 3 will set another, and the 1 will set another screen for the other big man or our 5 here at this point. 5 will now use that screen and try to get the ball here at the somewhere at the elbow area, which is very important, and I'll discuss this later. I hope you're still following me. If you do have questions about the play, just write it down and I'll get back to you as soon as I finish this. Okay, now 3 just relocates and spaces out to the corner. 1 can just step out a little just to avoid a 3-second call. Now what will happen is 4 passes the ball to 5 at the elbow. Okay, 4 passes the ball to the elbow, and now 4 sets that down screen to 1, for 1 rather, and 1 uses that screen and goes up. The options here are, number 1, 5 passes the ball to 4 for a high-low. That's the first. If 5 does not have that high-low to 4, 5 just passes the ball to 1, and maybe 1 can make that pass inside. That's the second pass, that's the first pass. To 4. Now, 4 and 5 are interchangeable, much like 2, 3, and 1 are interchangeable. So now, as soon as 5 gets the ball to 1 in the middle, 5 follows that pass and sets that ball screen, or sets a screen. Now, for now, it looks like a ball screen. I'll show you. Of course, now 1 does not decide to reverse the ball to 2, waits, just gets that ball, and then the ball screen is set by 5. 1 uses that ball screen, of course, because 5 is being used as the ball screener. 5 rolls to the basket. And by principle of in and out for a big man, for big men, or for a 2-man game, as soon as 5 goes in for that roll, 4 has to go out and we want him to flash here along the ball side elbow. Now, it would look like this. 1 passes the ball to 5 for that in-out, or for that high-low rather. Nothing happens there. 1 can reverse the ball to 4. 4 can take the shot or make that high-low pass to 5. So that practically is what we're looking for in that movement. Now, if at this point nothing still happens, now we go to the opposite side. 4 just dribbles the ball to the opposite side, and what we have here in this is a potential two-man game. Okay, we have that two-man game here. We'll take away 5 and 1 first. 2 has the option to get the ball from 4, and now we have a two-man game between 2 and 4. Okay, now remember, if 4 gets that ball to 2, 4 will roll down to the shaded area. 2 decides to go back door. It's still okay. 4 gets the ball to 2, and we have a scoring opportunity. Now, the last option here for 2 is now to set a down screen for 3. 3 comes out of that down screen for a two-man game with 4. Of course, after 2 sets that down screen for 3, 2 can slip in a little. If he's not open, he just relocates to the corner. Now we'll go back to the assumption that 2 got the ball. For, let's say 2, let's say 3. Now we bring back 5 and 1. 1 just goes up. 5 just spaces out. Takes away the 3-second call. Now 2 gets the ball. Now 2 has the ball. He penetrates a little. 4 dives for that high-low. As soon as 4 rolls to the basket, 5 can step up a little. Just a little. So, if 2 cannot make that high-low pass inside to 4, what he can do is 2 can pass the ball to 5 on that step up by 5 for the first pass. And now 5 can make that pass, a high-low pass to 4. Make sense? And that is what we're looking for. Now, if you still have time, but I think I doubt it. I think you do have already a scoring opportunity at this point. But if ever nothing happens, you still have a potential two-man game on this reverse. 5 can dribble, and 1 can decide to get the handoff, or can decide to go backdoor. So pretty much, that is play 5. Now, if you have questions again, so far, just put them down in the comment section below, and I'll try to accommodate them, answer them, as soon as we finish this episode. Okay, teaching point number 1. We got the ball. Again, we got the ball here. Okay, 2, 1, and 3. We have our 4 guy here and our 5. Remember? Now, first teaching point is how the opposite wing will screen for the opposite big. Or here, how the 3 guy will screen for the 4 guy. And we want this kind of screen. It's what we call a J-cut route. A J-cut route is, it's like a letter J, like that. That is a very important teaching point when we're setting the screen. This gives our players a better angle when we want to use that screen. Okay? Because what we want is the back of the screener to be pointing towards the open area, or the area we want our player to be receiving the ball. And in this situation, we want the 4 to receive the ball somewhere here. That's why if you see, the back of 3 is pointed somewhere here. Okay? Now, if 3 did not make a J-cut and just went down and screened like that. Now, if you can see, the back of 3 is pointed here. But we want 4 to get the ball here. So as soon as 4 uses that screen, his defender, 4's defender here, because the screen is angled here, will just easily slip up. Will slip or go under that screen, and thus a potential steal, deflection, or in other words, 4 will not be open. So that is a very important detail, no? That J cut. Again, we call that the J cut. Okay, so instead of doing this, okay, which is wrong, what we want is a J cut. You see how the back of the screener is facing different directions. And we want this here. So that's the first teaching point, the J cut. An important detail of this play is, why did we want our 4 to come out here? Coming from that screen of 3 and the screen of 1. Okay, and then we have our 5 and we have our 2. Because it is our assumption in our team that we've developed our players, especially our 4s, or what we call our players who will be defended by the opposing big men. Okay, we have the assumption that we've developed our players in such a way that they can make this shot here. Our 4s, our 5s can make shots here. We've developed them in such a way that they can make shots from long 2s, 3s, and free throw area jumpers, which is going to be very important for us in our offense. Now, the other thing is we've also developed our big men, our quote-unquote big men, our 5s and 4s, to be able to penetrate effectively as guards. So, if you can see the 3 here and the 1, as they slip, as they go to this direction, our 4, our 5 guy is here, our 2 is far away. What you have here is a potential isolation for 4. That means our 4 guy has that opportunity to isolate himself against the bigger or slower defender. Now, though big against big, we are very confident that our 4s, our 5s will be able to, if given the chance or has that opportunity, to penetrate well against in this situation. So that is why it's important for us in play 5 to be able to get that ball there somewhere here in this area, because that is a very important scoring opportunity, and that is coming from the second pass or the first movement of play 5. And I'm not really keen on making a lot of passes. If we can score immediately or score in after 1 or 2 passes, it's better for us. So that is the second point. 4 getting the ball here. This is very important. As soon as 4 gets the ball on top, we have another screen here by 3, another screen here by 1 for 5. Now, why is it important for us for 5 to get the ball here? This is very important for us. Why? We have 2 reasons for that. Number 1, if 5 gets the ball here in the elbow area, this is almost a layup for us. Again, we have the assumption that we've developed our players in such a way that this elbow jumper, a short 2, a long 2, a short 2, an elbow jumper 2-pointer is going to be a very high percentage shot for us. Therefore, we want to get that ball here. We want to take shots. Maybe half a second open, we encourage our players to take that shot because we've already developed them in such a way that they'll be successful. That's one reason. Getting the ball at the elbows give us a high percentage shot, a higher chance of success. Now, the second reason why we want our 5 to get the ball at the elbow area or to go to the elbow area to start, imagine mo may defensive 5, we have his defender here. Okay? Now, if 5 does not go to the elbow, if 5 does not focus on getting to the elbow and he just runs all the way here, let's say. Now, the problem is, if 3 screen and 1 screens here, okay, and 5, and the defense decides to go over the screen, okay, so what have we been taught is to flare a little, right? If we see the defense going under or going over the screen, we want the user, the cutter, to flare out a bit. So 5 will be flaring out a little bit more here to create more distance against 5. Problem here is, it's already way far, too far, where 5 is, if he flares, to the basket. It's just too far, no? Again, the logic here is the farther you are from the basket, the smaller your chances or lower your chances of making the basket, lower field goal percentage shot. That's the point. Now, why is this important? Because if 5 focuses on going to the elbow, like that, and let's say x5, the defense of 5 goes over or under the screen and meets him to the elbow, guess what? 5, when he flares, he can flare somewhere here sa short corner because he's already coming from the elbow. He doesn't have to go all the way here. No, you don't have to. Okay? He can settle for a short corner jumper or actually a backdoor for a lob pass. Diba? And that is only possible if 5 focuses on going here first and not to go like most shoots running the baseline coming from a screen. Their instinct would be to go straight here, go straight there. So their first option, if they do this, is really to go farther from the basket. Wherein if you go and focus on going to the elbow, it's much, much closer to the basket. Thus, a higher chance of success. And that's the third point of Play 5. I hope you're having fun with this so far. And if you do have questions, just put it in the comment section below and do fire away, ask away. Now, for the fourth option, on this pass, one sets the screen here and goes for a pin down screen, uses the pin down screen by 4 and gets that ball at the elbow. Now, we already know what happens if one gets the ball here. 5 sets that ball screen. Let's forget about 3 and 2 first. Okay, now 1 uses the ball screen. We want 5 to roll hard to the basket, and principle of in and out, 4 has to go up. 4 has to go up, but doesn't have to go up anywhere or everywhere. He has to go to a specific area. And the specific area that we want him to go is to this elbow area, ball side. It's the ball side elbow. Okay? That's very important. He has to go to the ball side elbow. Imagine 2 is here, right? And 2 is being defended by x2. Now, if 4 decides to go to the middle, okay, ball is with 1, 4 decides to go up to the middle, 5 is already down here, so yung in and out natin. Now, what happens is x2 is able to go here and possibly mess up, okay, and possibly mess up this pass because he's close. Why is x2 going to be courageous enough to go to 4? Because the distance between 2 and 4 is close enough. So x2 can go back and forth. So he's doing a cat and mouse between 4 and 2, which messes up, okay, the potential reversal by 1 to 4 on top. Now, we want 4 to go to the ball side elbow. This is very important, and listen, because now the defender of 2, x2, has to make a decision. What is that decision? Does he go all the way here to mess up the reversal to 4? Therefore, if he goes there, this is open. Okay, now, if x2 decides to play it safe and stays here or maybe sags a bit from 2, but 4 will now be very open to get that ball and potential jumper or a potential elbow jumper or potential high-low with 5. Just because 4 went away farther from the potential help defender, which was x2. And that is the fourth important detail of the Play 5. And before I go to the last and final teaching point, I'd like you to know that the coaching at the Coach Putito sessions has leveled up. Aside from this AOC coaching board segment, which will be regularly shown Thursdays at 9 p.m., we also have the Skills Factory. Saturdays, 9 a.m. This would be a perfect company for your Saturday morning workouts. These are two of many developments this 2021 for the Coach Putito sessions. And do give me a thumbs up if you're excited about these developments as well. And if you're at YouTube, if you're at the YouTube channel ng Coach Putito Sessions, don't forget, remember to hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and we will be more active also. As we are active here sa Facebook, we'll also be as active sa YouTube. Hopefully, things will turn out well and help you in your journey and experience. Okay, so let Coach Putito Sessions be there with you as well. So, now, we go to the fifth and I think the most exciting teaching point dito sa Play 5. And that is the read and react. You thought I forgot about this. The read and react aspect of Play 5. And what I'm saying here is, at any point of the play, the players decide to break down the offense, to break down the play, also known as ad-lib or nataranta yung player. That's why they had to break the play down. So, at any point, the players can still, be in sync with each other. And what does that mean? It means that they can still move together in one page, or on one page rather, and the success rate will still be high. Let me tell you, let me show you how. First is maybe we get 4 here on top, diba? Then we have 2, we have the 5 here, we have the 3, and maybe we have the 1. Now let's say yung defense ni 4, okay, and let's say 4 decides to penetrate sa left. No, ad-lib. No, he broke down the play on the first movement. 4 broke down the play. He penetrated here. Okay, to the left. No, by virtue of what? By virtue of read and react, of course, this will go to the circle movement. This would go to the circle movement. Okay, and them being at the post area, this guy can go to the, because this guy is at the post, he can go to the short corner area or at the corner. And 1, because he's already there, he just goes up here just to space out. Diba? This can actually continue to go here. This can go here. So that's one part, no? Yung circle movement at saka yung post slides movement natin. Any point pa. Let's say 5 using the screen of 3 and 1. 4 gets the ball here. Diba? 5 gets the ball sa elbow. He passes the ball. Now, at this point, ganun din. 5 decides to break the play down. 3 is already here. 1 is already here. Okay. Okay, 5 decides to break the play down and penetrates baseline. Penetrates baseline. So, by virtue of penetrating baseline, 4 goes to the elbow, right? Now, because 3 is already at the elbow, at the corner, rather 4 goes to the corner. Now, by virtue of a baseline drive, 3 is already at the corner, so he just stays, right? Now, it's just up to 2 and 1. Because it's a baseline penetration, what do we know about read and react when it comes to baseline penetration? We fill the 45 and 90 degree spots. That's the 3-point elbow or the elbow area. So maybe 2 fills this area and 1 just pops out to this elbow area. See, everyone's in sync. Everybody's on one page. Everybody spaces out well. In other words, everybody still knows what to do even on breakdown situations. And that's very important for any offense. Let's say 4 dives already. Because the defense of 2 anticipates the ball screen and he pops out here. So 2 reads that and he penetrates baseline. So what happens again? Another breakdown. But 2 decides to drive baseline on the other end. By virtue of baseline penetration, what does 3 do? He stays in the corner, right? He stays in the corner. Now, by virtue of post slides, baseline penetration, 2 baseline penetration, 4 here. Okay, let me clear that out. 2 3, 4 already slides. 5 is here. 1 is here. Now, penetrate. Okay, now we know this guy stays here by virtue of corner position on a baseline drive. What does 4 do? Because it's a penetration sa baseline, 4 and 5 actually are already in the prime spot to what? To go to the 45 and 90 degree area spots. And because 1 is on the weak side, he has to fill what? On a baseline penetration, weak side has to fill what first? Corner. And there you have it. The read and react, fixing breakdowns in offense, in our play 5. And that's the true beauty of the read and react. Now, it's not just the offense, it can also be the emergency offense at the end of plays when players decide to break the plays down. And that is the most important part of any play, and especially here in our play 5. I hope the play 5 got your attention and would be inserted in your playbook soon. Send me your questions down below and I'll be happy to discuss this further with you. At the end, it's not what you do that makes a difference. It's how you do it that makes you great. And that's the Coach Potito way.